Constitution doesn't require comfortable prisons. The Supreme Court has said that for decades, but what it does require is safe prisons and adequate medical care and an environment in which people aren't suffering. GEO is a private for-profit company that is running not only immigration detention centers, but local jails and prisons across the country. That's when I was turned away from a legal visit because of the quarantine. The staff who were working the front desk that day said that no one was getting in to visit the people who are under quarantine, and the men who are under quarantine still don't have access to family or social visits. They can do telephone calls with their family, but that is the latest that I know. The pods have been under quarantine for a number of weeks at this point, which means no visits, no family visits, up until very recently, no legal visits, no outdoor access, essentially no movement outside of their living unit. Right around the time that Representative Crow was trying to get a visit in the facility, and GEO had announced that the quarantine was going to be extended, I believe at that point for the third time, a number of clients who I have in one pod decided to go on a hunger strike. And at the time, their demands were simply, give us information. Why are we being quarantined again? Health conditions are awful in the facility. And I think that can be attributed to a number of things. One of them is that the facility is incredibly understaffed. And that comes from detainees telling me that they have heard medical staff say that. So medical staff themselves are admitting that they are understaffed. Just as an example, there's one physician to treat 1,500 detainees in the facility, and no human being can see that many people and address medical concerns for that many people in a timely manner. With immigration detention, what we're hearing more and more is that the medical staff at GEO seem to be waiting for people to get deported or to be released on bond, because there is no determinate sentence for the person to be in there. So if GEO can save a buck by not providing someone surgery for the next 6 months, and that person might be deported or might get out and can take care of the surgery on their own, that's what they're choosing to do. For us, it just raised a whole bunch of new questions about why did the company not obtain this license? It's a nominal fee, to my understanding. What does this mean for record keeping within the city and the city's understanding of what GEO is doing within its municipal borders? What does it mean for health inspections? What does it mean for fire safety inspections? Everything like that. And this coincided with the outbreaks. So it really didn't provide answers for us, other than that GEO seems to be operating on a level where it doesn't believe that it has to comply with local law. And that's incredibly troubling for us. I think the expansion in Aurora is a symptom of what's happening on the federal level. It happened right around the time that ICE was attempting to get additional bed space appropriated through Congress. That effort failed, but they went ahead unilaterally and said we are going to fund more beds. So there's upwards of 52,000, the number fluctuates, but upwards of 52,000 beds available for people who are in civil detention to ICE custody to be housed. At the same time, we were seeing more and more people arrive at the border. And so ICE's policy currently is essentially to detain almost everyone who is in immigration proceedings. So ICE reported to us as advocates in the community that all of the 432 people who were coming to the new space were coming from the border. And so it's our understanding that almost all of them are asylum seekers who came up from one of the caravans. And of course, these are people who are fleeing persecution and torture and trauma in their home countries, and now they've been moved thousands of miles up from the border and are detained.